Hello everyone, my name is Zim Ahmadi, peminat muzik tegar budak baru belajar. Today we're going to talk about a trap rap project by Kid Santhe and Gard called Api. Trap music gets a very bad rap in the music scene, especially in the branch of hip-hop. It's deemed as one of the most lowliest form of hip-hop. It's not as sophisticated as conscious rap. It's not as innovative as experimental rap. But I think if you were to dismiss trap music, you'd miss out on a lot because within trap music itself, there are plenty of very innovative artists in terms of production and in terms of messaging and aesthetic. For example, like Denzel Curry's Clark Cobain, or the really popular song that went viral last year, This Is America by Childish Gambino, that combines influences of Tropicalia and indie beat within, traditional trap beats. And even when you think of M-tier trap music like Lil Yachty or Migos, some of these people produce really banger beats that are memorable and infectious and catchy, and it's not that easy to convey that as an art form, especially when you live in a world where there are a saturation of SoundCloud rappers everywhere who want to sound like Migos, who want to sound like Lil Yachty. So let's talk about the artists. Kid Santhe is one of my favorite Malaysian rappers right now. He's got bilingual zingers, and over the years his lyrics and flow has matured, especially after having featured in songs with people like Ultimate, in songs like Muda, or in his collaborations with Airlivs. Really, he made me fall in love with his songs since his release of Ella Ella. But even his latest release, Rindu, shows how much he's come. And he's got a lot of comical stuff as well, like with Having Skin, and even that song he did with DJ Biggie, which is a remix of Datuk Vida's I Am Me. And if you don't know who Datuk Vida is, then she's a local celebrity entrepreneur from the Malaysian state of Kelantan, and she's a very favorite topic in terms of the local meme culture. So on the other hand, Gard, his label mate, since they're both under the same label, Monster Sounds, is different from Kid Santhe in the sense that he doesn't do much punchline rap. Like he leans deeper into the darker R&B trap sound, and his songs are often focused on that production and beat. Like for example, in his mixtape 2016's Gard vs. Korang, in the song AK-47, he's got like flames in his production, but other than that, he's pretty much like a run-of-the-mill rapper to me. But it was still very interesting to see these two people come together, considering that they're from a wide enough spectrum of hip-hop, like different sides of that spectrum, that there's diversity in terms of the production, the lyrical flow, and the rapping style as well, but not too different that they can't work together. And one of the points I think that sufficiently summarizes what I feel about Api is that this album brings the best out of both of these artists. You have Kid Santhe playing the sharpshooter, staid rapper, more to the point, more direct. And then you have Gard, who plays a more whimsical role, like often drenched in autotune, but keeping things lighthearted and more comical on the side of Kid Santhe. So it's a really interesting chemistry. The story of the album is told through interludes of which these people hang out and talk about love, life, and try hard rappers while often being interrupted by a nagging mother figure per se. And it's kind of endearing because it gives this vibe that they're just two best friends making beats together, and the DIY appeal really makes it charming for me. The tracks in the album Api is co-written by Gard and Kid Santhe. It's co-produced by Kid Santhe and DJ Biggie. And I must say, the production in this is pretty decent. Like, there's a lot of classical trap elements to it. Like, for example, you have, the syncopated rhythms, dark ambient synths, sub-bass layers that you would find in most trap songs. But there's very cool, interesting production details as well. Like, for example, the flutes in Tropicalia, or the slightly soulful and jazzier take on hip-hop in songs like Meriah, or even, the kick drums in FUMAKILLA. There's a lot of diversity of production in terms of that. One of my favorite tracks of the album Api is the banger FUMAKILLA. FUMAKILLA shows the explosive chemistry between Kid Santhe and Gard to its fullest. I love the braggadocio element in this track because, they're dissing all these rappers, fancying themselves as insecticides, repelling against mosquitoes who like to pick a fight, the mosquitoes being rappers. And the kick drum that happens throughout the entire song really gives the beat a punchy and assertive vibe to it, which elevates the already fiery lyrics. I love how Kid Santhe reframes the word lit in this song to make it sound like a warning as opposed to a compliment, because he says, you know, like your friends shouldn't come too close to the fire because they'll literally burst into flames, i.e., literally being lit, right? And Gard's part in this album is so contagious and so good. Like the moment he walks into the beat, I got a smile on my face when he sings, "Wow, dia kata dia legit. Sumpah itu tak logic." And I love when he comes in and does that with such confidence and swagger in his tone. And I love that it acts as a functional contrast. The Kid Santhe is more direct and, you know, to the point, fiery punchline rap. And you have, you know, Gard's looser and much funnier and comical approach to his rapping style. However, the inconsistencies in API are not negligible, and most of it has to do with Gard's autotune. Now, autotune isn't inherently bad. Like, there's a tasteful way to use autotune. For example, I feel like, you know, rappers like Kanye West uses autotune really well in his album 808s and Heartbreaks, and even some of, you know, T-Pain's earlier stuff is catchy as hell, even with autotune. And Gard's personality, you know, is based upon his autotune effects, like his bubbly and fun side. But sometimes I feel like it's a bit too much and doesn't really add anything to the song. In fact, it gets a bit annoying. A good example of this is the song Tropicalia, where when he goes on for about a good 1 minute or 30 seconds or so in vocal effects and autotune, that it got so tiring to the extent when Kid Santhe comes in, I felt like a huge breath of relief and fresh air that, you know, Gard's part was finally over. That's how annoying it felt to me. But there are certain tracks in the album that I feel Gard's autotune vocals really helps the personality and the funness of that track. For example, in the song Gerd Gerd, where he references Adventure Time, that's a really good example of Gard's at his best. Another track I feel that, you know, proves Gard isn't a liability to the album, sometimes adds personality to it, is the song Matku. I love that Matku's has this, you know, ice cream jingle beat that they use as a trap anthem, because Matku is a Malaysian ice cream brand. And I love the offbeat flow that Gard sort of takes in his, you know, rapping style, which is funny and at times pretty catchy as well, despite the fact that it's offbeat. So the absolute best cut in API to me, even if it's not as, you know, banging as FUMAKILLA is FATMILOTRUCK. So FATMILOTRUCK is an autobiographical track, you know, because Kid Santhe is also called Lil Milo, and he uses the metaphor of driving an oversized Milo truck over 2 lanes, and that's how he, you know, crushes his opponents and stuff like that. And everything from the 1-2 punch verses in this song where, you know, he sings, "Flow tight macam jeans, aku dah ketat baby sebab aku too fat, bagai malik aku hilang macam gemuk tak ada six pack." He builds up these punchlines over several lines, over several bars that is really, you know, good and really fiery to me. And also the part where he raps about his mom, like questioning his career choices. So he sings, "Tapi mama, aku ada drive. Buat apa ada drive kalau tak mampu beli tayar?" And I love the kind of comical aspect to the song as well, while Kid Santhe, you know, goes through his childhood. And I love that the hook in this album has that deep vocal effects which keeps this song fresh. The underlying John Mayer-esque guitar also makes the song, I think, very warm at its core. And it's just one of the tightest production in the entire album to me. And then lastly is the song Ula, which is another cool production. Even if the bars themselves don't do much, the guitar licks at the end acts as like a powerful, you know, break from the rest of the album because it's jazzier, more soulful. And I love the fact that, you know, Gard at the beginning of the song hears Kid Santhe plays this riff and then he goes, Kid, my legs sekali, Kid, because, you know, that creates a kind of endearing dynamic between them. These are just two friends making beats in their bedroom. And Ulang has this part at the very end of that song, which I wish lasts longer because it has this chill, lo-fi hip-hop vibe to it, but it's just, it just ends really fast. But to me, it's still a really cool conclusion to the rest of the album. So what is my verdict? There's an interlude in the album where Kid Santhe and Gard talk about how other rappers in the scene don't innovate, don't take risk, and, you know, they're the ones who really pushes the boundary. As self-centered as that sounds, I think there's some truth to it. I feel like there are some, you know, songs in this album where Kid Santhe and Gard takes the production to a very interesting level, and there is a unique catchiness to some of the songs. Like the bangers don't sound derivative or cliche, and the fact that these are just two friends hanging out and making beats accentuated by those interludes gives it a very homely feel. I think that's also inspiring. It's an endearing album per se with its flaws, but the good cuts in this album are something that you should definitely check out, like FUMAKILLA, FATMILOTRUCK. And because of those reasons, I like to give this album a 3.5 out of 5. So did you like the album? Have you listened to it? Are you even a fan of trap? Do you disagree with everything I say? If you have anything you want to comment, you can do so in the comment section below. If you like our content, please like and subscribe. If you have any album recommendations, regardless of times, pace, language, or genre, we'd be happy to consider it. We'd love your suggestions. My name is Zim Ahmadi, peminat muzik Tegar, budak baru pelajar. Psst. Yay! And my gun go.